Do you like fantasy football and sports betting? Come join us here at the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast, where hosts Matt, Shane, and Jason talk about fantasy players, lineups, and sports betting to help you compete and win championships. And of course, some extra cash. Let's jump right into the show.
Welcome back to another episode of the Parlay Fantasy Football Pod. Matt, Shane, and Jason with you guys tonight. And yes, guys, that is 2 weeks in a row that we are all three here. No work conflicts, no kid conflicts, no weather conflicts. So we are officially back. Shane and Jason, my guys, how you guys doing?
It is the Pink Pony Club tonight, fellas. Wait, what?
Hey, it's on everybody's mind, dude.
Hey,
Hold on,
glad
I
to
have
be
some
back.
feedback.
Glad to be back. I know Shane is making fun of me and whatnot, but yeah, I guess we're riding with the Pink Pony Club kind of theme tonight.
All day.
Big ponies guy. Jason is a big ponies guy.
I love it. Well, tonight we are back, guys. If you caught last week's episode, we did a little mock draft of our QB tiered rankings for Dynasty last week. We have another special episode for tonight. Now, I will let Shane explain that again here in a second. But if you guys forgot, man, head on over to fantasy6pack.net. Become an all-access member today. Use promo code Parlay FF to get 15% off your membership. Guys, that comes with a lot. Website access, Discord access. And I'm telling you right now, there is a ton of information on both sites. You want to be there, especially with training camp starting, drafts starting, and when fantasy season kicks off, you're going to want to be there. And don't forget, our betting episodes, okay? That's going to fire off again, tune hot and heavy during football season. We going to make you that quiche up in here, all right? So you guys make sure that you need to follow along with that. And as you guys are watching right now, head on over to youtube.com, go over to Fantasy Six Pack's channel. That is where we are streaming live currently, and that is where all our video stuff is over on their YouTube channel. Hit that subscribe button, that notification bell, so that way you guys can be notified when we do go live, all right? And then if you guys are just want to listen to the audio stuff, you can head over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, look up the Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. That is where all our audio stuff is going to be streaming. And we would just appreciate like hell some 5-star review, guys, because it does help out the show. So that being said, my guys, Shane, what we got going on tonight?
All right. So those of you that joined us last week, we are cooking up some stuff in the kitchen the same way we are doing the running back version of the quarterback draft. So we'll get it right into it and show you what it's going to look like if I can make the swap as finessable as possible here.
Bingo,
bango, bongo. Listen, folks, this is a lot of fun. What we do is, when you're doing rankings, it's one thing to be like, hey, this guy above this guy, and it's just in a list. It's another thing to put it into practice, and I think that it comes down a lot to shaking your assumptions, because when you are drafting your team, you have to click the button, and that's what we're working on here. And I know it's funny to say that out loud, but when you actually go into the process of drafting a player based off of your rankings, it's a whole different game. And so we're addressing it by actually drafting the way that we would rank these guys. And we're going to break them up into tiers. So obviously the first round will be your first tier. Your second round will be your second tier, so on and so forth. And then those of you in the chat can choose who we draft for team 4, since Sleeper's lame and won't let us do 3-team. It's fine, Sleeper. We understand. Without further ado, are you guys ready to go?
Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll, baby.
I know I'm trying to make Matt a little nervous about picking first. That's what I'm just gonna keep talking until he's like, I'm trigger finger stuck.
Am I going on tilt?
Before the draft starts.
All right. No, I'm gonna make this plain and simple. This is this is standard Dynasty, correct, Shane?
This is a let's see the draft settings here. It is half PPR, guys.
Half
So,
point. Okay.
Okay.
God.
It's like nobody does standard anymore.
All right.
half
Well,
point is the way, apparently.
I'm gonna lock in my top running back this year, especially for Dynasty. That's Bijan Robinson. His opportunities should be vast this year. Okay, the catching upside, the rushing upside. We're looking still for that. His ceiling is just so incredibly high still. With Michael Penix, I think it's going to be good. I really do think it's going to be good for Bijan. And in Dynasty, I just feel like you can't go wrong with him being the first running back taken.
Yeah, and now you leave me with the fun choice, Matt, of age or beauty. And I think Dynasty, it's running back. The running back. I'm full tilt already.
Full tilt already.
I'm going to do it because Gibbs is the better play here for Dynasty. Quads is, without a doubt, the better running back as of right now, in my opinion. But, got to draft the age, too.
Right. Especially going forward with age and whatnot. That's why I'm making this pick. This guy's going to be a top 10, maybe a top 5 running back this year. Give me Ashton Jeanty.
Yes, he's doing it.
Yeah.
He is doing it. Hey, to be honest with you, Jason, to be in sports and stocks, lame. Hey, to be honest with you though, I would not blame anybody if they took Ashton Jeanty first as the first running back. I wouldn't blame anybody for that.
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about pulling it, but with Gibbs Gibbs is still the guy we've seen do it at the NFL level. I think we have to, take that into account.
Right. And real quick, going over Bijan and Gibbs, it's 1A, 1B right there. Could you even make an argument 1C with Jeanty?
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I think the first 3 taken right there are by far out and away the top 3 Dynasty running backs. Not just Dynasty. I think those are going to be some of the top running backs taken in drafts anyway, with Saquon falling in that those top 4 could go really personal preference, right? But yeah, no, I think we got the top 3 for Dynasty easily.
All right.
Yeah, I agree. I think that first tier is pretty set. I think that's the only way to actually view it. I think you can't really go wrong with the preference of the first 4 running backs.
Correct.
There are, there are dings against each guy. Barkley's his age. Bijan's, he's in Atlanta. Gibbs is the fact he's got a split backfield, and Jeanty, the fact we haven't seen him do it in the NFL. So, all of those things are valid concerns. I think it just kind of becomes hey, which one are you willing to take the shot with? It's a running back position. It's always a gamble.
Agreed.
Yep, and that's why I'm a gamble again. Give me Marion Hampton.
Woo!
Yep.
Whoa!
I love it with that scheme that they have there with Harbaugh. It's gonna be a hard-nosed team. I like his age. I like the fact that he doesn't have a lot of miles on those tires.
Okay.
What's up, Jamie? Oh shoot, I forgot to change the setting. Hold on, I have to change the setting here. Maybe. I don't remember how to do this. Somebody help me.
What are you doing?
Try to make it so that the this guy doesn't draft automatically.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I can do it now. I don't know if I can do it now. Whatever.
Yeah, we'll play around it.
He gets the draft automatically. We can change it if we want to. Jamie, what's up, man? Jamie, we actually were going to allow you guys to choose this pick. So if you want to participate, you're more than welcome to. Put it in the chat who Team 4 should take. And we'll make it happen. We'll swap it out. We'll make it work. Jason chose Marion Hampton, which is kind of crazy. IMO.
That is spicy. That's spicy.
I like the scheme that they're doing right there. I mean, it was between him and one other guy who's I think is about to go pretty soon.
I mean, I'm happy with one of the picks I'm going to get for sure.
I'm going to go with the guy that can take any single possession and go absolutely bonkers with it. Also, Matt, you can see my hover here. You know where I was going to.
Well, I didn't know if you were trying to throw me off.
Oh,
trying to throw us off here.
Oh, Jamie.
What do you say?
Jamie.
What do you say?
I have Hampton as a top 4 running back in Dynasty. Man,
Hey,
He agrees.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Who knows? Who really does know? Shane, Devon Achane, fantastic pick there. The fact that he fell in my personal rankings, I know the computer kind of chose auto pick right there. Achane would have been like far and above Henry in that pick right there.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I think that it was the auto selection, and I just thank the computer at this point.
With this pick here, guys, I think this running back has a fair amount of upside, especially in Dynasty. I'm actually looking to see this year if he can take it up a notch, if he can step up and take it up a little notch here. So I'm going to take Bucky Irving as my first pick.
Yep.
I see him having a very high ceiling this year with a lot of touches. That guy's explosive. He's fast. He can catch the ball. He can kind of do it all. So I love Bucky Irving right here. And then in this spot, don't throw shade on me. Don't throw any hate. But, I mean, he is getting older. But, listen, a healthy Christian McCaffrey could be RB1 overall.
Puke.
Yeah, I know. It's gross. And the injury stuff is still a very big question mark. But again, if you are in a dynasty league and if Christian McCaffrey falls rounds like he is doing already, if he stays healthy, I mean, you guys can agree, Christian McCaffrey can end up being the RB1 overall if he stays healthy. So
I mean, I hear you. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt here, but I still think you're wrong. because this guy exists.
Brees Hall.
Yeah. He's almost at the end of his contract. If the Jets don't like him, send him to somebody else so he'll dominate, because that's what the Jets do. They make good players bad, and they hate on Brees Hall. What's the deal? Jamie, I agree.
Well, Shane, I think what would we say here? Brees Hall, sorry, Jason, I'm going to take a couple seconds of your time here. Brees Hall and the Christian McCaffrey, like both those running backs, both super talented. Obviously, Brees Hall's younger. Christian McCaffrey can be our RB1 overall. Those two running backs are probably getting the most hate thrown to them for the start of the season, right? I mean, those two running backs are just falling in drafts like you wouldn't believe.
But I mean, I think that there's some serious concerns with Brees's, the commitment the Jets have to Brees, and I think that there's some serious concerns about McCaffrey's health. I mean, you can't frame
deny
McCaffrey
that.
in a different light, unfortunately.
Right. Yeah. All right, Jay.
I can't believe we've overlooked this. And Shane, I'm going to bring up a bad or a sensitive subject for you. He won fantasy leagues for people last year. Give me Jonathan Taylor, only 26 years old, still has gas in the tank, and he is coming down to the end of his contract too, to where, hey, who knows what can happen if he can get revitalized for a team in the second contract. I love JT right here.
Great pick. That's a great pick.
Then next, I'm going to go with a guy who had a hell of a season last year, and I'm banking on the fact that he's going to keep it up with that offense. Give me Chase Brown.
Ooh, okay.
Give me 2 years in the league to where he caught a lot of balls out of the backfield last year. I love that. I love the dump, the check down at a Burrow. And we saw that he put up points, a lot of points last year. I think he was RB 10 last year. So, and he's 25 years old.
Yeah. No, that's two solid picks, Jay. Two very solid picks right there.
Yeah, Jason, your selection of JT was who I was between. It was either Brees Hall or JT. Chase, I don't know. Jamie, who would you rather have than Kyron Williams here? Tell me in the chat, and I will make it happen.
It was him or Kyron.
Oh. Jamie, you make the choice right now. You make the call. Put it in the commissioner. I'll change it.
Anderson, yes.
Anderson.
JT, my guy. Yes.
All right. I actually, completely agree with that pick.
I agree. Same.
It kind of makes me sad, though, because I was enjoying the fact that Travion Henderson was just happening to fall to me. But I was going to take him here because I'm going to take this guy.
Yeah, James Cook.
I mean, he's Mr. Reliable in that Buffalo offense, and he happens to play next to one of the most lethal weapons of football. I think that's a pretty damn good reason.
Yeah. No, that is.
He's never going to be option 1, but he's sure as shit maybe option 2.
Right. Now, in this situation here, obviously Kyren falling to this late, you have a very respectable chance at producing with Kyren in this spot here. So I'm going to make that as my selection as the first pick. I do agree with you, Shane and Jamie. Kyren going higher than, especially in Dynasty, Travion Henderson is far out better, a way better pick than Kyren Williams in that. But for him falling this far, I think you got good value right there. Kyren yuck. He says it again. I think hates Kyren.
I think it's funny that there's all this hate on Kyren, though, because he's produced and continues to produce, and he's only 24. I understand there's some injury history there, but I don't know. I don't necessarily completely want to throw him in the toilet yuck situation.
Yeah, I'm with you, Shane. I wouldn't just completely say yuck too old.
I think he fits in this tier, which I feel like is kind of the significant drop off.
Right.
There's not the massive upside that you would search for. It's still possible, but I don't really think it exists. And this fourth tier, I think, is kind of where the fall off happens.
I agree. And to be honest with you, looking at the board, obviously you can see the board. It's a lot of, Kenneth Walker, but he's got a lot of issues going on. I do like him as a running back, but I just don't know if I can trust him in Dynasty. I actually have him quite a bit lower than where he is right here. And then everybody else is just old reliables, right? So I'm not going to take my shot on these old reliable guys. I'm actually going to scroll down and I'm going to take a guy that I hope has a nice comeback year. I know it's going to be a split committee there, but let me get some revitalization from Isaiah Pacheco. I honestly think if he shows out in training camp, he can resume his old role of being a workhorse running back, because I think he's got talent. I think he's a talented guy. The split backfield kind of scares me, but again, if he can show his old self, I'm going to trust Isaiah Pacheco this year because that dude runs like a hammer.
I'm just going to log off. I'm just, yeah.
Did I snipe you?
Yeah, 100. I did not think that you were going to take Pacheco here. Yeah, I'm out. I'm at a loss of words because I'm full tilt right now.
No.
Let's see here. Who am I going to take instead? Because I had not thought that far ahead. Let's see here. I think this is the spot that I would take this young gentleman.
Yep.
I think that Judkins. Good. Pass it down the line. We'll just do a whole snipe squad. Look at. I am a little worried because Cleveland did invest. They double dipped this draft with the two running backs, but Judkins seems like a difference maker, and we've seen that at the highest level of college football. And I think that he has the explosiveness that we didn't quite see. He also doesn't have to be that explosive. The dude is one of the most hard-nosed runners that this draft class produced, and I think that fits Cleveland's style. Fits what they need. And so I'm on board the Judkins train this year and probably for quite some time. Unfortunate situation that they no longer have the Nick Chubb. Well, they have him, but he's not the same.
No.
Hopefully he is. It'd be a lot cooler.
It would be wild. It would be wild if he was the same.
Just a 1-2 punch, him in the Texans backfield with Mixon. All right, guys. I want to do Mixon, but because of that reason, I'm not going to. And I'm going to go with another guy who got a contract, but there's still another guy in the woodworks where he might get touches. Give me Chuba Hubbard, old reliable, right there.
You didn't take K-Dub?
No.
Wow.
No,
there's
I'm going
Chuba hate here.
Yeah, give me Chuba. Give me old reliable right there. Steady Eddie. That offense looked good at the end of the year. Jonathan Brooks is still recovering from that torn ACL. So I think with Chuba being their moneymaker, I'm going to go there.
Brooks is already rolled out, my guy. So you're 100%. Yeah, he's like he ain't playing this year. He may not play a single snap in the NFL, which is just unfortunate.
Give me old reliable right there.
Yeah, I mean,
Jamie says Caleb and Walker for those 2 picks.
Caleb
Johnson.
Okay. Jamie, you got to stop sniping me.
Yeah, I know. I was praying and hoping Caleb would come back, but don't
worry, Matt. I had Caleb on my radar because you sniped me with Pacheco, and I was so ready to hype that up. There was no chance that Caleb Johnson was making it to you. Jason, who you got?
This is where it gets kind of interesting right here.
It gets kind of yucky too.
Yeah, you're basically swinging for the fences here.
Indeed. I think that everything after the 4th round becomes kind of a shit show.
Agreed.
In Dynasty football right now, if you're looking at tiers for running backs.
Yeah.
I mean, this fifth tier is pretty good. It's not like standout-ish because, I mean, you could put Caleb, like you could put Kenneth Walker where Chuba Hubbard is, and that tier looks a whole lot better. But other than that, like I think they kind of it's a pretty big drop off that when you start looking down the line here.
Right. I guess the question you have to ask yourself at this moment is: are you taking age? Or are you taking for sure production going forward? And that's where I'm hitting a crossroads right now because I'm looking at some of these guys. Connor's 30. Kamara has had 8 years in the league. Montgomery 8 years in the league. So now you're looking at running backs. Tyrone Tracy can't hold on to the football. Pollard, that offense might be.
We will not stand Tyrone Tracy slander on this channel.
Yeah,
I will kick you immediately. No, you know what, Jason? Oh wait. Oh, sorry. Hold on. What are you saying?
Give me my
10
boy.
seconds, bro.
Give me my boy.
Okay.
Joe Mixon.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, we're gonna go with Mixon right here.
Okay. That's just self-proclaimed Texans fandom right there.
Yeah, that was just a fandom pick right there because I was
I ain't hating on it. I
don't love it, but I don't hate it. You're locking in production.
Yeah.
And at this point, that's kind of what there's a couple of guys that you could do some side with, but most of them have some pretty significant question marks.
Yeah.
Are you
in tilt?
Yeah, he's in tilt right now. See?
No,
I mean,
I don't know that I want to draft this guy. It's the right pick, but it's one of those things that I don't know if I can click the button, Matt.
Well, I've got my 2 picks picked out, so hopefully you don't pick one of them.
All right. Well, here's my button pick.
And you did.
Listen, RJ Harvey, I did slander the man. What was that? Two episodes ago?
Yeah.
I still think that he is the best bet, arguably, in this backfield. I don't love it. He's not my favorite player to hit the draft button on, but he has some serious explosiveness. He had good production. It's there. And he has good draft capital. A second rounder, like, come on.
It's him or Estime, right?
Yeah, I think Estime is going to be the outside looking in. If I'm going to be completely honest, I think that.
I agree with you, Shane.
I mean, he didn't have that great of a year last year to where he locked down the job. It's going to be an open camp right there.
So it's going to be him, J.K. Dobbins, and then it's going to be who's the scat back?
McLaughlin.
Yeah, McLaughlin.
Yep.
Yeah, Sarah McLaughlin. I mean,
whoever has the hot hand.
All right, guys. You guys might dish me on these next 2 picks because Shane took RJ Harvey, and that was 100% going to be my next pick. I'm going to take my next 2 picks based off of what I feel like is going to be guaranteed production. I feel like the teams didn't do any like these running backs after the draft were like, yes, right? Did not kill me.
Oh, I know who one is.
Well, the first one's definitely DeAndre Swift. Again, gross. It feels gross, but it is a guy that seems to always produce. I know it takes a few games to produce, and hopefully this year he can do something with it because the team didn't draft a freaking running back. So
they did.
Produce. It's a running back that they don't care about, right?
Kyle Managhey, my guy.
Yeah, he's going to be.
Get ready to learn Kyle Managhey, Matt.
He gonna get cut, son. So, DeAndre Swift has lucked out from the draft, in my personal opinion. Right, Ben Johnson with him should be a good combo. It should be a good tandem. And then the other one is a running back that I think will end up going up draft boards eventually. I have him ranked way higher than he currently is. That's Brian Robinson for the Washington Commanders. I think that running back I think there's a lot of upside with Brian Robinson. I mean, he is a big back. He runs hard. I know Austin Eckler is there, but it's him and Austin Eckler. And
yeah, I'm not going to lie.
I like Brian Robinson.
Kind of sad you took him. Because
well, I will say, Shane, if you didn't take RG Harvey, it was probably going to be Harvey and then Swift for me. So Robinson would have fell to you.
Yeah, but I would rather have Harvey than Robinson. So I'll take my pick, I guess. Listen, at this point, it's too much value to not hit this name, but I literally can't do it because I don't think that there's a player in football that can, on his team that can get him the ball. Unless they run Taysom Hill at quarterback. So I have to for the sake of the value, but I don't feel good about it. He's old. There's no one on that team. I don't know.
I think Shane, that's a good pick right here. Where we're at in these running back tiers right now, and keep in mind when you're actually doing a mock, what do we draft?
I mean, Kamara just fell 8 slots. Over 8 slots. He fell. Wait, hold on. He fell 10 slots. He was at the checkout. That's where his projected draft capital is. So, I get it. But dang, we passed him a lot for him to still be here in the 7th round.
Right. No, and I think that's a fantastic pick. And if I would advise people in real life when you are drafting, if Kamara falls this far, depending on your makeup of your team, you could have fantastic value. Fantastic value right there.
Gross.
Sorry.
Yeah,
it's not me. It's your running back rankings. Ugh, Jamie, you're going to get us in trouble, my guy.
Hey, listen, it's funny. I just love all the shade that Swift gets. I love it.
Dude, legitimately, have you seen what they've said about him in the postseason? The answer is nothing. They've not said a single good thing about DeAndre Swift since the postseason. Since they started doing team workouts, DeAndre Swift's name has not come out of anybody's mouth.
Doesn't surprise me.
Kyle Monaghy season, come on! Roshan Johnson season is the key.
Very well.
That's what I hope. That's my honest to God hope for Chicago is that they just say, Swift, we're really tired of you. Roshan,
yeah, I know. I'm gonna go. I have to do it.
Ooh,
I hate
faithful.
picking an RB2 right here, but the upside of him on the goal line and the production that he gets when he's healthy is phenomenal. And if something does happen to Gibbs, he's RB1.
Yeah, and they paid the man. There's nothing wrong with Montgomery here when he's just Jerome Bettis, but he's Jerome Bettis light. That's what I would call him. He's not Shaq Daddy, he's Shaq Kitty. Listen.
I was gonna take Monty. Okay.
Listen.
Does Jamie have picks, or we keeping him there?
He was gonna take Monty, Scatterboo and
Tootin. Yeah.
No. Jamie, what are you doing to me? Also, the Cam Scatterboo thing is hysterical because he can't even spell his name. He has so much CTE already. No offense, Cam. I love you as a player, my guy. You're from the Big 12. We appreciate you.
Yes,
however,
100%, bro. However, go get yourself checked.
Yeah. However, someone should I don't know if you should be medically allowed. All right, Jason, what do you got for us, my guy? Also,
I'm gonna go
freak.
with the guy I was talking shit on earlier. So give me Tyrone Tracy.
Okay, I'm sad because Tootin is the guy I was actually going to take here. I kind of assumed that Tyrone wasn't going to make it to me, and I would rather have the high upside with Tracy than everybody's favorite player in Cam Scatterboo.
Right. And dude, and to this day, Tracy, they're going to give him a shot. I mean, they are going to give him a shot. He is actually, I know he fumbles a lot, but they're going to give him a shot. The dude can catch the ball, and he's
explosive.
He's a good running back. Yeah.
I'm just
He
like
just has a
scrolling
fumbling
down the list.
problem.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
He needs it, but he's not he's, to be fair, he's what, 3 years into learning running back?
Yeah. He was a
Yeah,
wide
this would
receiver.
this would be a second season.
Third. He played 1 year in college as a running back.
1 year in college.
And then
1
played-
year.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
And then his rookie season last year, and then this will be his third, right?
Gotcha.
Yes, you are correct.
I don't like anyone's name that I see in front of me.
Yeah, it is pretty gross. It's pretty gross.
Let's play. Let's make a deal. Let's make a deal. I'm going to draft the guy that I think is going to win this roster spot.
Oh.
That's funny you picked him. I was going to ask you a question about Javonte.
I don't think that. I mean, from what we've seen, Javonte just has not looked the same.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
And we've seen that experiment in Dallas before. Didn't go well. I think that they will give Javonte the shot early because he's the tried and true. He's the blue blood. And then they're going to bring in my boy Blue.
My boy Blue.
And,
I like that pick, Shane. For real.
Thanks. And look, the dude can't block for shit. He didn't play a lot in college, and he also struggles with pass protect. But he is 0 to 100 real quick. So, like, there's positives.
Yeah.
He's like
I do
Tyron
like
Tracy. 0 to 100 real quick. All gas, no brakes. That's
right.
I'll take it.
Yeah, no, I really like that pick. That was and I've actually heard some rumblings about Jaden Blue, so
I'm a fan, especially with even in like startup. Jamie, no.
What do you say?
I'm blue. Da ba dee da ba da.
Okay, so in this spot, guys, obviously, in this tier of running back rankings, I think at this point, Aaron Jones is a decent pick here. I think James Conner would be an okay pick. But I'm not going to go that direction. I'm still going to go the way that I think the Steelers are going to start the season out with their RB1, and that's Jaylen Warren. It's not going to be the Caleb Johnson show right away. I can promise you that. They are going to give Jaylen Warren some touches. Listen, look up how many times Najee Harris touched the ball last year. And you tell me where all those touches, they're not all going to go to freaking Caleb Johnson. Jaylen Warren's going to hold value at least at the beginning of the year. I do think Caleb Johnson will end up supplanting Jaylen Warren as the primary running back. But if I'm in a dynasty league, I'm in a startup draft, you're going to get some value with Jaylen Warren at least for the first 6 games of the season.
All right, can we address the fact that the Steelers have
Caleb as their
have Caleb as the number 1? But I was laughing at this Will Howard, Skylar Thompson Wombo combo in the backup, and then also this is like this is like a fantasy manager's wet dream, like. Evan Hull, Trey Sermon, Kenneth Gainwell. You know how many times we've spouted off those names and they're just buried on this depth chart now? Like it's like the GM was like, hey, there was some hype about this guy 3 years ago. Let me add him.
Okay.
The only person they're missing is Frank Gore Jr.
Frank Gore Jr. Yes, sir.
Ooh. Someone offered me Warren for Parker Washington before the draft. 1,000% would take Warren.
Yeah, 100.
Although I am a fan of Parker Washington. Dude has some sticky hands. That's like, I mean, in Jacksonville, there's not a whole lot to compete against.
Right.
Compete against your own shadow for balls out there.
All right, and now I'm just going to bite the bullet. It's gross. Aaron Jones. I'm going to bite it. He's still got some
same thing.
He's still got a little bit of value. I didn't really want to pull that trigger, but he's the RB1 in Minnesota. He's going to get
at least a good team.
Yeah.
That's actually legitimately what I was thinking about with James Conner. I was looking at him and I was like, I gotta draft one of these guys. Like, that's
Who do you
same
like
with
better?
Kamara earlier. Like,
Would
I'd
you
rather take
take-
the upside.
Would you take Jones over Connor? Like if you were going off just dynasty rankings, just pure.
If it is half PPR or more, I think Jones gets the nod. I think Trey Benson's going to get worked in more. I am a little concerned with Connor's usage and with Kyler being the quarterback that he is, that he just doesn't get the dump offs. Like, that's the big feather in the cap for Jones, is that JJ is going to be like, holy shit, this is a real defense. And like, JJ is down there somewhere. Addison's suspended for 8 more games. Where's Aaron Jones?
All right, I think this guy might revitalize his career this year with the new head coach and play caller. Give me ETN.
Whoa.
With Liam Cohen at the helm. I kind of see a Bucky aspect going on here. Dump offs, screenplays, get him the ball more in space rather than Doug Peterson just running him into the O-line. That sucks.
Whoa, Jamie. No, it is not. ETN's brother should be drafted before ETN is drafted. Just saying.
Pause.
Yeah, like I was thinking of something to say, but I couldn't figure it out.
I was like, I don't know about that one there.
Trevor, I think, has a better chance of becoming a relevant running back in Carolina than I think Travis does with Jacksonville. I think Tootin is just going to smash grab Travis's Trip. Why do they both have
They both T-E.
Why do they both have T name? What is this is some bullshit.
All right, Jay, who are you thinking of here?
Oh shoot. The computer sniped me. I was gonna go
It's too late. Jamie said he is good with those auto picks.
Lock those in.
Yeah,
too.
I'm sure he is. Damn it. Let's see. Going way down this list.
I see the one I would take. Like I would. I keep passing him.
I have 2 more picks or 3 more.
You have 3 more. I keep passing him.
I know what I'm doing right here. I love this guy. I loved him coming out of college. I think he's going to get more touches this year if Cook keeps on being a diva. Give me Ray Davis.
Mm-hmm. I knew you were doing it. I saw Ray Davis.
I was like, yes, found you. Give me.
I already drafted the guy who I think is going to be the lead back in Cleveland. I really want to draft Dylan Sampson.
That's the other name I was looking at.
That's a great pick.
That's who I want to draft here. And since we're not building actual teams, I will just go ahead and stack. But let me just tell you, Dylan Sampson is a special running back. His athleticism's off the charts. The issue is he sucks between the tackles. You know who they drafted? Quinshon Judkins, a guy who's absolutely excellent between the tackles. So, like, perfect mirroring if you could pair the two up from the draft. Cleveland actually hit the nail on the head with that one.
Hey, real quick, Matt, before you go, for the final 2 picks, do you want to do shots in the dark?
I don't know.
Shots in the dark. I am confused.
Just a guy who could break out, or are we just doing regular thing?
Wait, didn't we already do that? I'm confused.
Yeah. All right. Okay, never mind.
You can draft whoever,
Matt, go ahead.
draft whoever you want.
Yeah, I'm like a little on tilt here.
Ramondre?
I mean, in this tier of running backs, you are just kind of taking your shot on, guys that could produce, that might produce, like guys like Ramondre, guys like Javonte. Is this a spot where you just like, okay, let me just draft this guy and see what the heck happens?
Always down for whiskey, Jamie.
Then I go down on the board.
He's quoting half-baked.
As I scroll down here,
it'd be a lot cooler if you did.
Some of these RB2s could be extremely valuable if you are a guy that drafted Christian McCaffrey. Do you take an Isaac Grindo, which I'm gonna in those situations could be a very, very helpful pick. So I'll take Isaac Guerrero. I'm not taking him. I saw the screen, Shane. But listen, I don't hate that. I really don't hate that. But
no, I think that's not a terrible pick, especially if he's
no.
going somewhere else. I think he needs to leave Tampa. I think that's the biggest issue is that he just needs to leave Tampa.
Right. I'll let you take him if that's who you want to take, Shane. But I'm going to take my shot on J.K. Dobbins. I know he's an older running back, but you're paired with R.J. Harvey. They brought you into Denver. There must be something there that they did like. We saw what he did last year, and he did what nobody thought he was going to do, and he did it successfully. So let's see what that timeshare looks like between J.K. and R.J. Harvey.
Fair point.
Yeah.
Do I pull the trigger on the guy?
Saw that.
About pulling the trigger
I like
on?
that one too, Shane. I like that one too, but I said, nah, not yet.
You know what? I'm going to do it. This is the guy that they wished Blake Corum was.
Oh, okay, Shane.
Okay. That's an interesting pick.
Hunter is insanely explosive. He is a true difference maker in the backfield. Yes, he's not going to probably produce. He may, this is 100% a call my shot pick. I think that Hunter is conveniently undervalued because I think that Kyron, with the injury history and Blake being also having injury history, and being older, I just think that Hunter is a different style of running back, and it's something that the Rams wanted, and they went out and got him. And I think that speaks volumes for.
And Shane, that's if someone were to pick that, make that pick in a dynasty draft, you always have that option to put him on your taxi squad.
Yeah. I mean, 100%. He's 22. He was drafted in the 4th round. Stash him. See what happens.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm getting a guy who a team went after in a trade, then gave him an extension. He's a good running back. He's always been a backup, but with how fragile Aaron Jones is, I like Jordan Mason in this spot. Only 26 years old. Been in the league 3 years. He does put up numbers, and he does do well whenever he gets the opportunity. Last pick for me, I'm going to go with my boy who I always draft every year as a backup, hoping for the chance that Hall gets hurt.
Braylon
Allen.
Oh, nope.
Oh,
not
nope.
so fast, my friend.
Oh, no way.
So fast.
Damn
Not
it.
so fast.
Hold on. He said Braylon Allen and Vincent.
All right.
Those are two good picks. I like those two picks by Jamie.
Vincent's there.
I do like those.
Jamie and I are together on these picks. Well, I guess I'm going to have to go with this guy. Oh, wait. You good?
Now you can go.
Give me the backup in Miami. Give me Jalen Wright. There was hype with him coming out of college. Who knows what's going to happen with HN. Shot in the dark.
Yeah. Speaking of shot in the dark, I am taking one of the most productive running backs in college last year and the year before, and was borderline that the year before. Devin Neal is in a fantastic situation in New Orleans because they have nothing to fucking lose. They're going to be terrible. And Mara's old. And so, to handcuff the two of them and to get Neal in the last round here, I feel like is just a beautiful work of art. I will say, I kind of wish that we had a couple more rounds on this because there are some rookies down here that we were talking about the stashes that need to be discussed as guys that could be true difference makers this year.
You could throw out some names.
There's 4 of them right here in the line. I am going to take one of those rookies, Shane. I do think, looking back at where we have these guys ranked and how we're doing this
100% agree, Jamie.
Yeah, I do agree with that too. 100%.
Yeah, he's no reason, Jamie.
Yeah, and there's no reason. We wouldn't fault anybody if someone wanted to take a shot on Ramondre or Javonte Williams, just because those guys are going to play more than likely, at least Ramondre. So I'm not going to do that right now.
I think Javonte plays. I mean, Zach Charbonnet is also a fantastic pick, but he's never going to usurp K-Dub. As long as K-Dub is there and healthy, Charbs is always going to be second fiddle.
Right.
So I think that's kind of. Oh,
I'm going to make my last selection with DJ Giddens, running back with the Indianapolis Colts. Is it a homer pick because Shane and I are K-State fans? Maybe, but I firmly believe that he is the RB2 in Indianapolis, and I think he is behind Jonathan Taylor, and I think you might get some run with him this year. I think he might see some snaps, and you never know if Jonathan Taylor gets hurt. DJ can be out there and be explosive. If you go back and look at
the guy who's always hurt, JT. Yeah, I'm taking DJ Giddens 100%.
Yeah,
Will Shipley. It was fantastic.
Yes.
How am I going to do this to like? Can I? Oh,
and if you go, well, Shane, while you look at that, and if you go look at, if you didn't watch the combine or watch anything that DJ Giddens did, he scored extremely well. So,
he broke the RAS score, almost broke the RAS score. He had a 9.9, he had a 9.95, I believe, RAS score. He's insanely explosive, hell of an athlete. Devin Neal also insanely explosive.
Yes.
So like the two of them, funny enough, they were both 45 minutes from each other for all of their college career. I like both. They're both kind of homer picks, but also like when you see something, say something, and something needs to be said about these two. So that will be my takeaway of that. Jamie's list. I like Roshan Shipley and Jordan Mason. I am unsure on what he marks. That is how I will leave that. Taj Brooks, though, is really good. You put that in the chat earlier, so shout out to that one.
Yeah, that was fun. That's fun.
Yeah,
I like this little setup that we got going on here. Yeah, Jamie, you keep listing players. Yeah, for sure. Like it's
Brashard Smith is one of my favorites. So let me just tell you, like, look at the hat. Look at the hat. I was so pumped when we took Brashard Smith. The only thing that would have made me more happy is if we would have gotten this guy.
By Shal Tootin.
And I am so salty that the Jags drafted him 2 picks before us. So, it's fine. It's fine. I'm not mad.
And in a draft with 12 people, the people, Jamie, that you're listing, I'm 99.9% sure they would all be drafted. There's a lot of players still left on the board that you can definitely throw a dart at and see what happens. Like it's wild. Oh, we got a little question here before we wrap up the show. Traded London for Godwin and 2 first-round picks for next year. Who won the trade? Dynasty. Ooh. Oh, that's
we need to know, Mr. Light Switch. Is this full point PPR? Is it half point PPR? And is it 12 teams?
Yeah.
And then I could give you what I think is probably a correct answer. And also, do you need help at running back? Because if you're trading for wide receivers for next year's class, I have really unfortunate news for you.
Yeah, it's not going to be great.
Yeah, 2026 draft class for wide receivers looking a little light. But the next year may break records. So like that's the cool thing. And you can always swap, first rounds.
Yeah, and that's Jamie said exactly what I was just about ready to say. Where do these first round picks fall?
Yeah, good point too. My thought is that, hey, if you are looking for a position and you're willing to play the waiting game to like trade for future talent, there's nothing wrong with you trading for this upcoming year's draft. And then as that draft approaches, you trade out of that draft for the next year's draft and get more picks. Like
full PPR, 10 teams. He has Gibbs and Henry. Is his RBs and a bunch of rookie running backs from the. Wow.
Okay, so I think, if you need the wide receiver help, you can flip those picks for an actual wide receiver, like a vet, if you need some like instant production. I like Godwin. I think I'd lean Godwin in the 2 first because it allows the flexibility. But London is a pretty big difference. I don't know if he's enough of a difference maker in a 10-team league. I think that's kind of where it becomes like you need someone who's a true alpha. And if he's your wide receiver 2, I don't feel like that's a win. Or 3. I don't know what your structure of your league is, but I don't know. That's my thought. Jason, you think anything about that? Are there thoughts going on up there?
No, I agree with what you just said.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think the trade could be. I think you could make that trade worth it. But is London? What I want to know is London. Let's see. What do you say? This is my first Dynasty League too.
I mean, yeah. If your team sounds like it's ready to win it all, like I think that's. But if you're struggling to build future talent without London, is what it looks like with
right. So yeah, I mean he's
Terry
got
Evans and Godwin. You're kind of
Terry
all
Edwards
in this year.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It's either you go all in for a dub or you start selling. And you probably want to just go all out for a dub the next year, look to rebuild.
Yeah, I mean,
and with you already stacking picks, like you're already building towards that. So I think that this trade makes a lot of sense to me, just based off of what you told us.
Yeah, exactly, 100%, 100%. I like that. Yep,
I think win that trophy,
made a good trade. Yep.
Thanks for the question, Mr. Light Switch.
Yeah, 100%. That's great. I love those kinds of questions. I want more people to get in and ask questions like that. I like helping people out like that. So, all right, guys, that is going to wrap up today's episode of our little wide receiver mock or running back mock showdown. So next week, Shane, are we doing wide receivers?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm. I'm so pumped to do wide receivers. I cannot tell you the level of excitement that is in my soul right now, knowing that next week I get to talk about my favorite position and probably the difference-making position in fantasy football.
Number two, it is my favorite position. I was fortunate to play this position, so I was a tight end. I was a tight end. You were tight end?
We didn't throw the football, Matt. I played at Rock Creek. We don't throw the.
Yeah, that's right.
We ran like wing tee.
The wing tee,
bro. And then I graduated, and our coach was gone, and then we went full spread, and it was like no.
Yes, Jamie, please be the fourth.
Yes,
next week.
Yes, we do want some more people in here as a fourth, or just people in here making the picks for us. So that way it's not just a computer automated generation. I do like it when people are getting involved. So, okay. So next week, guys, we are going to be doing another mock draft showdown at the wide receiver position, but in, kind of a tiered ranking system is how we want to do it. Instead of just reading off a piece of paper, we like the interaction. This is what we like talking about. So next week, that's what this is going to be. Remember, head on over to fantasy6pack.net, become all access members today. Promo code Parlay FF 15% off. And the YouTube channel Fantasy Six Pack. That's where you can find all the video stuff. We love it. Audio side, Spotify, Apple Podcast, 5-star review, Parlay Fantasy Football Podcast. With that being said, Shane and Jason, y'all know what to do.
Real quick, guys, go vote on who had the best, the best team. So go do that. Here's a whole recap of what was out there. Go vote 1, 2, or 3. Or I mean, if you want to, 4. If you like Jamie's team / the bot team, go vote and let us know who won in the comments. We'll read them. We'll comment back. And if you comment anything, I'll comment. I promise.
Jamie, we got you. We appreciate your love and help. Hey, prayers out to Central Texas, and thanks, guys.
That's right, Texas. You be safe, Jamie. We will see you next week in the chat for the wide receiver rankings. Mr. Light Switch, tune in next week. And with that being said, we love you all to the moon and back. Until next week, peace out.